Hi, this is Ajay Anand. Welcome to science classes from excelup.com. Today I am going to discuss about chemicals from common salt. In this topic, we will start with the chloralkali process through which many substances are produced from common salt. Then we'll learn about caustic soda, that is NaOH, bleaching powder CaOCl2, baking soda, that is NaHCO3 or sodium bicarbonate, baking powder, that is sodium bicarbonate plus some edible acid, washing soda, that is sodium carbonate, and plaster of Paris. The chloralkali process is nothing but electrolytic decomposition of brine. Okay, so you must have read about electrolysis in previous classes, maybe in class 8th or class 9th. So what happens when the brine or solution of common salt undergoes electrolytic decomposition? It gives off sodium hydroxide, chlorine, and a hydrogen gas. So in the typical industrial production, chlorine gas gets collected at anode, hydrogen gas gets collected at cathode, and sodium hydroxide comes out as a byproduct. So it's a huge chamber in which you feed saturated brine and you get sodium hydroxide. Okay, now let us talk about some broad usage of three key products which come from electrolytic decomposition of brine. The number one is hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is used as fuels, then for making margarine and for making ammonia. Chlorine gas is used for water treatment, maybe in swimming pool or overhead water tank, in making PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride, for making disinfectants, for making CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbons, a refrigerant used in refrigerators, and for making pesticides. Sodium hydroxide is used for degreasing of metals, for making soaps, detergents, in paper making industry, and for making artificial fiber. When hydrogen and chlorine they combine, they make hydrochloric acid, and hydrochloric acid is used for cleaning a steel, for making ammonium chloride, for making medicines and cosmetics. Chlorine and sodium hydroxide, they react to give bleaching powder. Bleaching powder is used for bleaching. The term bleaching means removing color. Now let us come to bleaching powder. The actual chemical formula of bleaching powder is quite complicated. For the sake of convenience, we shall be using a simple formula, that is CaOCl2. The production takes place when reaction of slaked lime is with chlorine gas. So chlorine gas reacts with slaked lime to give bleaching powder and water. It's as simple as that. Bleaching powder is a yellowish white powder, and it is also known as the powder of chlorine or lime of chlorine. Bleaching powder is used as disinfectant, as for moss remover, as weed killer, for bleaching of cotton or wood pulp or even wool in textile industries. It is also used as oxidizing agents in many industries, because bleaching powder is a very strong oxidizing agent. Now let us move to baking soda. The formula of baking soda is NaHCO3, that is sodium bicarbonate. You may also read it as sodium hydrogen carbonate. Baking soda is produced through Solvay process or ammonia soda process. Both are same. In fact, the Solvay process is the most commonly used process around the world for production of soda. about 3/4 of the worldwide production of soda takes place through Solvay process. What happens in Solvay process is brine reacts with carbon dioxide and ammonia to give baking soda and ammonium chloride. So brine comes from saline water, it can be from ocean or from any source of brackish water, and carbon dioxide, it comes from limestone from quarries. Limestone is calcium carbonate. The reaction is NaCl plus CO2 plus NH3 plus H2O is equal to NH4Cl plus NaHCO3. So NaHCO3 is baking soda and NH4Cl is ammonium chloride. Baking soda is a white crystalline solid which appears as a white powder. It is amphoteric in nature, that means it can be acidic as well as basic in aqueous solution, and it is sparingly soluble in water. Now usage of baking soda are for making baking powder, as antacid in toothpaste. In fact, it is an important ingredient of toothpaste, for cleaning silver ornaments, and also in fire extinguisher. Now thermal decomposition of baking soda is an important aspect. What happens when baking soda is heated? It gives sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide and water. So the reaction is 2NaHCO3 is equal to Na2CO3 CO2 plus H2O. When sodium carbonate is further heated, it gives Na2O, that is sodium oxide, and carbon dioxide. Now what happens? Thermal decomposition of baking powder, baking soda gives carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide helps in making fluffy cakes, in raising the batter. So when you are making cake or fritters or dosa or any fluffy item, any item which becomes fluffy on cooking, people usually add baking powder. Okay, the carbon dioxide gas, it helps in creating bubbles and which make for fluffy cakes. But there is a problem. The thermal decomposition of baking soda, it also produces sodium carbonate, and sodium carbonate results in a bitter taste. So to avoid this bitter taste, baking soda is mixed with edible acid to make baking powder. So now what happens when baking powder, that is baking soda plus edible acid, they are heated, it gives carbon dioxide and water plus the sodium carbonate, it undergoes neutralization reaction with the edible acid to make a salt. So now the problem of sodium carbonate has been removed and the problem of bitter taste has also been removed. So now you get fluffy cakes or fritters or pancakes without the bitter taste. Okay. Now let us move to washing soda, that is sodium carbonate. So production is simple through thermal decomposition of sodium bicarbonate. In previous sections you have studied that thermal decomposition of sodium bicarbonate gives sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate thus achieved is dry, so it is called soda ash. It cannot be used as such. So we need to do rehydration of sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate is rehydrated, added with water. This gives sodium carbonate decahydrate, that is Na2CO3 10H2O. So now it becomes washing soda. As the name suggests, the use of washing soda is for cleaning and washing purposes. So you are doing laundry, you are using it as soap and blah blah blah. Now plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris has some relation with Paris, because in historic periods the plaster of Paris was produced from gypsum. Today also it is produced from gypsum, but gypsum was available in plenty in and around Paris, and that is why it got the name plaster of Paris. So production is very simple. Gypsum is heated to remove some water of crystallization to give plaster of Paris. So it is CaSO4 2H2O for gypsum. When it is heated, 1.5 molecule of water is removed and it gives CaSO4 half H2O. that is plaster of Paris. Once you add water to plaster of Paris, it once again becomes hard. So plaster of Paris is in powdery form. Once it becomes gypsum, it becomes hard. The beauty of plaster of Paris is it sets very quickly, and that is why it has got wide applications in making plaster cast for fixing fractured bones, for making statues, for making false ceiling, plaster, and so many decorative items. So to sum up, let us recapitulate what we have studied. We studied some chemicals from common salt, and the main process is chlor-alkali process to give some common chemicals from common salts. We have studied about caustic soda, bleaching powder, baking soda, baking powder, washing soda, and plaster of Paris. There can be some confusion in many of you regarding what is caustic soda, what is baking soda, and what is washing soda. So all of them are soda, but they have different chemical formulae. So caustic soda is NaOH, baking soda is NaHCO3, that is sodium bicarbonate, and washing soda is Na2CO3, that is sodium carbonate. So you will have to remember it, mug it up or whatever. Okay, so that's all for this class. Thank you.